I'm Asbury, and I just went on the Asbury Youth Mission Trip to Camp Joy. I had an amazing time this week connecting with my team and the people we helped, and it was really eye-opening to do something that was not about me for a week. I learned a lot on this trip, and it wasn't necessarily things that I expected to learn. I expected to learn about power tools and how to measure and how to build something out of nothing, which I did learn a lot about. But I also learned how to work in a team while becoming more independent at the same time. As we used tools more, I was able to ask less and less questions and able to work on myself on some projects. I also learned how to work with people that I hadn't necessarily worked with before and how much we could get done if we worked as a team. I learned through the children in the Hayes family that although we may have grown up in different environments and cultures, we are able to make connections with people that are completely different than us because we are all God's people. And most importantly, I learned that God works in unexpected ways that may seem small but are actually really significant. He made it so we were able to fulfill our promise to Mrs. Moore to come back and see her the next day because the church we were assigned to for dinner was right across the street from her trailer. Seeing her so happy that we wanted to visit her again in a non-working environment made me realize that the physical work we were doing, although important, made much less of an impact on these people than the realization that there are others out there who truly care about them and want them to be happy. I learned that that's the definition of being the Lord's hands and feet, not just using them to hold hammers and climb up ladders, but to spread love.
Hi, I'm Hunter Berry, and I went to Camp Joy 2015 in West Virginia. At this camp, we set up tents and went to different houses around the area for people who needed help. We painted the trailer, built ramps, built steps, built doors, and anything else people needed done. On this trip, I saw God many places. The first was after we painted the woman's trailer. She was so appreciative that she asked us to come back in a non-work environment, which God made possible when we were scheduled to eat dinner at the church right across the street. Another place I saw God was after we ran out of work, about the fourth day. The mission got an anonymous call for a woman's house who she had just gotten a stroke and couldn't get up and down her steps. So we went there without knowing what to expect, just that we were going to build a ramp. And when we got there, she had two kids about our age who we immediately became friends with. And they might even come back next year as a part of our youth group. Overall, this experience was amazing, and you got to see life from a different perspective and be grateful for what you had when some people barely have anything.
Okay, so Camp Joy was one of the best experiences that I've ever had. Plain and simple, that's it, end of story. But Scott also told me that I can't make that the end of the story. So I'm going to tell you what I experienced in my week sleeping in the tent. The first day was one of the best days for me. We went to Mrs. Moore's house, and we painted her trailer. And she was so appreciative of everything that we did. And she asked at the end of the day that we come back to visit her. And that was crazy to me because, why would she want us to come back? But then I realized that we really changed her life. To us, yeah, we just painted something. But to her, we, made her house look so much better. And we were actually God's hands and feet. And that was amazing.
Before we left for Camp Joy 2 weeks ago, I had a lot of unasked questions. I wondered how well our group would work together. I wondered about my role in the group. To myself, I questioned how the homeowners would react to a bunch of unskilled teenagers showing up to build things under their homes. But in the end, everything worked out. Our group did a great job working together. We got to know some of the homeowners, and I learned that I did have a role to play, and I felt good about how I was able to help others. God's presence was all around us all week. I felt it when Miss Moore told us how much painting her house had meant to her and invited us to visit. I felt it every day that we worked and at Vespers when we could climb to the top of a hill and admire God's creation at the end of the day. I felt it at the end of the week, at the final Vespers, and as we were leaving. It was a great week, and I'm definitely looking forward to the next mission trip.
Hi, this is Connor, and I just went on an awesome mission trip last week. And my favorite part of it was probably hanging out with the group that I was with and learning more about them. And I'm really thankful for the youth leaders that went with us and were with us on that week. And I'm especially thankful for Mr. Mike for teaching me how to help other people's lives by building homes and using his tools to change other people's lives. And I saw God the most in this one lady named Mrs. Hawk, and she had emotional problems with us being at her house. And she didn't like us being at her house, but the next day she ended up liking us being there and embraced the fact that we were helping her clean her yard and help her daily routine by building stairs and railings and helping her around her house. And that's how I saw God that last week.
Hi, my name is Megan Berry. I'm so happy that I got the opportunity to go to Camp Joy this year. It was such an eye-opening experience, and I learned so much while creating lasting friendships. Our group worked so hard and accomplished so much. The most amazing part was that we were able to help people who couldn't help themselves, all while doing God's work. I am so glad that I was able to be the hands and feet of God this week. I never thought I'd be able to build steps or fix a gutter or create a ramp, but with the encouragement of the leaders and the cooperation of the youth, we were able to do all these things and more, all while interacting and creating relationships with the homeowners who wanted someone to talk to just as much as getting the structure they needed fixed or built. I saw God at work in many ways this week. We finished our work sites early, so we were able to get another work site from an anonymous caller for a woman who had had a stroke, who wouldn't have got the help she needed if we hadn't had those extra couple days to do another work site. We were also lucky enough to meet 2 kids our age at that site, and we bonded with them, and they fit right with our group. They might even join our group for Camp Joy next year. Overall, this was a life-changing week for me, and I can't wait to go back.